Most likely, though, thinking it's probably going to be Keizu.
5 seconds remaining.
Yep. I mean, the banning out of the Phantom Lancer as well suggests that. Mm. And they opt for the Venge, so they opt for being able to cut the lasso easily later into the game, as opposed to picking up Oracle, which is the support that could purge in the laning
The
stage.
sticky, yeah.
Abaddon is not an option for this draft, just because you're playing against a Terrorblade, and playing an Abaddon into a Terrorblade means giving the Terrorblade a Sunder.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to do that.
And it doesn't feel good. Of course, like, you can do it if it's necessary, if the TB is played after you. You can sometimes get 4 silence stacks up on him if you're lucky, etc. But overall, you don't feel good doing that. And with this lineup, I would only really suggest it if Thunder Predator was interested in, well, once again, running a timing push kind of thing with the Nature's Prophet and the Finch. But I don't think that's the style they should be going for here. I want to see them blow some people up.
I'm sure they want to also see people get blown up. But
We all win here.
we do. Exciting Dota is much more fun to cast than, Farm Fest and whatnot. But again,
Yeah.
Vengeful Spirit, like you said, lots of good reasons to pick it up. Swap, of course, being the number one. But be interested to see now what they decide to follow up. Because right now, it feels a little like they're playing into the hands of Crazy again. Just a little bit. I mean, Venge is
Yeah.
still a great support. She's got a solid stun. You've got the Wave of Terror. You can be the Aura stacker, which is nice too. Just get yourself a Vlad's and keep that illusion alive. You're still helping your team. But
Easy early roast condition.
that's true.
And she's not that bad into the Terrorblade. Like, normally his armor is too much for most carries to fight him straight up. But with the Venge on your side, you can really extend the possibility windows of some of these, carries that wouldn't be a great matchup into the TV otherwise.
That's a Moon Meander Rubik. We're in for a treat. This guy is so good pushing his buttons with this hero.
Yes, 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 yes.
It's also
10
just
seconds
great support in the
remaining.
laning phase, of course. If you're paired up with the Bat, get a couple levels of that
5
sticky
seconds
napalm on the
remaining.
enemy, pick him up, throw him back into the Firefly. It's a tough lane to have to deal with, especially when you don't have anything that's able to purge.
Yep. So it is going to have to be the Morphling with an escape, with the ability to sustain through all of that damage. As well as, you'd always rather play a ranged carry just because you get to keep a little bit more of a distance from the Bat Rider. It's not great, but
10
it's something.
seconds remaining. Dire team back.
And this Morph is going to get a lot of space created for him by this Tiny if everything goes well, so he should have the time to recover from that lane. And Morph does match up really nicely into the TB. Not just because you can, shotgun a TB to death, but also if you have to fight him straight up, you can
Radiant team
steal
back.
the Metamorph. Or, well, you steal the entire TB, but you take the Metamorph.
That's the real ultimate, right?
Yes.
As I like to joke around. So what's your follow-up for Teamfight though on Thunder Predator? Because I'm guessing again that's gonna be
10 seconds remaining.
unless they I don't like that though.
5
Because you
seconds
could run Frank
remaining.
as a Vengeful Spirit. I don't want that though. I don't want that. So most likely, what am I looking at here? We're looking at a Minos playing the Morphling, probably a Tomato playing the Tiny, offlane Nature's Prophet, which means they just need a position 4. Which is kind of weird to save like as their last pick though. So maybe they are thinking about shifting the Tiny and putting him into the 4 position and picking up something different for Tomato.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, they have options here as well.
5
Wouldn't
seconds
mind
remaining.
some more magical damage, but it feels...
What about a Lesh? We could go for a Zeus too, right?
Ooh.
Radiant
Zeus still an
Zeus
option?
is banned.
Yeah.
Okay, you could go Lesh. Lesh
I've
wouldn't
seen
be
him make some
terrible.
appearances here and there. Yeah, oh, and he absolutely melts through a Terrorblade when given the chance. It would really give them a strong 4-man
But will
to
they
make
do
space
it?
for this
10
Morph.
seconds.
Because I know
remaining.
Matthew can play Tiny. That's not any concern here.
5 seconds
Yeah,
remaining.
it's way more about if Tomato would actually pick up the Lesh. I don't think he would. 16 seconds.
You can tell that they're debating right now pretty heavily as to what they want to grab for their last bet. Now, what do we grab here on the side of Crazy? Because you need a Brile hero. Void Spirit. All right, so it's
Magic
going to be
Burst.
actually, that could still be a Matthew. That could be a Matthew Void Spirit.
Yep.
He's very good with this hero. He's actually so good with this. I'm actually more excited to see it on Matthew, to be quite honest.
But that's only because Leo style isn't it?
10 seconds
Right.
remaining.
Leo style is a god on that hero.
He is a god on Void Spirit.
Not as good as Quinn, but
You may now select your heroes.
Crazy.
so this is a mid.
Slam the
Yeah,
door.
it's a mid bat. All right. And as Tomato Void
Well-
Spirits, they'll put the tiny on Matthew. I don't know.
A rough draft here. I mean, neither of them is going to be particularly happy versus this Bad Rider, but the Void Spirit can at least get some last hits in here and there.
Void Spirit at least can be active, right? He's not one of those heroes that
Yes.
has to sit in the lane and farm. So perhaps that's the idea, is that, all right, he's not going to have the greatest time against Bryle, but he's going to be able to move about and try to get pickoffs, especially if he gets runes of opportunity.
Yes. And they have a lot of extra backup in the form of Frank. So
Yes, I like this much better on Frank. Frank's Nature's Prophet is very, very good. This is a little bit easier, but I still think this is a tough draft. This is a really well-crafted draft coming out from Aoi.
absolutely. This Venomancer especially, even if you go in now on Thunder Predator, it is very hard to get out again. And that might make them not want to jump at all. Of course, it is Thunder Predator, so that's going to make them uncomfortable as all hell. But HFN is going to have the space, for sure.
Yes.
The question is, how much pressure is MNZ going to feel during all of this? Because it depends on how much HFN shows up to push towers. If they don't take terrain fast enough, there is still a possibility that Thunder Predator gets to fight really nicely in the latter part of the game, even if they didn't have a good time up until that point. And the other condition would just be for Thunder Predator to win the lanes.
All right, well, we're going to see how this all goes down. Again, this could be the last chance for Thunder Predator to stay here in the BTS Pro Series. This is a lower bracket match. You've already got one game under the belt of Crazy, and they're looking crazy good. So we'll have to see.
I want the Moon Meander show. Give it to me.
The Moon Show. Well, let's see. What does he have here? You could go and grab Swap. You could grab any of Tiny spells. Are always very, very nice. You could Remnant.
I'm a fan of Astral Step. Astral Step, Lift.
I mean, anytime that he can get a mobility move is always super, super good for Rubik.
Let's see. Looks like we're going to have to
30 seconds.
watch for that first blood on the bottom lane again, while HFN just secures the top lane. It's going to be up against Frank by his lonesome for now.
Just for now, they'll make the rotation. They just like to put a lot of people down the bottom lane generally. Do you see a line being drawn though? What's going on here, HFN? Is he just trying to go for a little bit more safety, perhaps, or? All right.
This is a swap, I think? No? Because it turns around again.
Battle begins.
They were considering it.
They're just trying to find out as much information as possible, but MNZ will be able to go grab up a rune. Frank grabs the other. Now, it looks like he's going to be able to grab a third one over here, so nice start for the side of Thunder Predator.
HFN prefers to not get caught here. Just block up his wave as much as possible. At this point, he is... it's just about enough to not get that creep under tower, but it's close. Actually... Oh, no, blocked too much. You lost.
We lost. Interested to see how Tomato's going to deal with all the spam coming out from Bryle. Again, I don't expect him to win this lane, just because it is very, very difficult, but I think we will see a lot of early rotations coming out from the Void Spirit if he's able to secure the runes, but that's something that Thunder Predator loves to do. They like to rotate it around the 4-minute mark. Matthew, though, down here is very, very injured. He's trying to just break some ankles. KZU pinging him out. Aoi hunting. Matthew, though, breaking those ankles like we said. Uh-oh, KZU? Does he spot him? Yeah, gets that little bit of hit down here with a Poison Sting Moon Meander, looking for him over in the corner. They want
He's
this
gonna get
first
out.
blood, and he gets out. Matthew, God.
A lot of time wasted there. And he wasn't in the XP range for most of that either, so that's good progress for Morphling towards his level 2.
Well, they'll find Wu over
That's
here,
it.
and that's a lot of damage plus that poison sting, but it is, of course, only level 1. Should be absolutely fine here. Interesting how they're keeping everyone down here. They're not rotating anyone. I guess they really just want to place that pressure on Minos.
Yep, because they're trading it for free farm for their Terrorblade.
We'll send Aoi back up to the top, though. He'll go, he'll stack camp. And he'll be able to contribute in his own way here. Middle lane. Ryle just chasing after Tomato. He's got a couple stacks of sticky, will turn back around again. Takes some damage, 6. He does have plenty of stick charges, though. So Ryle will back off. No harm, no foul.
Yeah, from Tomato here, I don't think he's going to stay in this lane any longer than strictly necessary. Just secure 6, get going. He's got a very nice target to go for example, the Terrorblade over on the top lane.
You've got the Terrorblade. You
His
can also
first
just go for a
faction.
pickup on Aoi. It's not like he's particularly fearsome or tanky. Either way, you'll probably be able to find yourself a kill though once you get that first rotation out. Unlucky, Frank. It's a couple of those bounces on the side camp. This is gonna be such an annoying lane to play against here. With the Bat Rider just constantly stacking sticky on you. Just gonna try to play around the side, but Matthew comes forward, tosses him right back over here onto the side. This is looking like our first blood. Excellent rotation coming out from the Tiny here as he makes his way top. Looks like they're trying to just put out enough pressure on Frank, and they're not going to be able to do it. But since he does force to get TP'd out here, Matthew can take a little bit of this XP in the meanwhile.
Excellently done on mid. I think that Tomato must have done something to make sure that there's no vision over on that high ground, so that Matthew can just stay there and wait until Braille is in range. Yeah, Braille's not happy about this.
No. Can feel that rage. Yeah, and Tomato just giggles to himself a little bit. There's gonna be the stun though over here on Moomian as they toss back. They're just sitting very, very low though. Not gonna be able to quite finish him off. Throw out a little bit of a slow over here onto MNZ. Both the supports will sit a little bit lower than they'd like. Do have a headdress though on the Vengeful Spirit. No regen left though for Moon Meander, so he is going to be forced to walk back and try to regen. Tomato grabs up that Arcane Rune. He's got 6 stacks of sticky on him, but Matthew the bodyguard, stay away from my Void Spirit. Thank you very much.
I don't think Braille's likely to go that aggressive again.
I mean, you say that, but it is Bryle.
Let's find out. He's got his items to farm as well. I'm expecting BOTs from him, so that he can really start working that tempo, because he's got to move fast when what he's working with on the other core is a Venomancer. He's going to be decidedly slower.
I don't know about this though, because I've seen Bryle go for the boots of trouble, but I've also seen him pick up the drums early because he really wants to fight. Matthew though, on the other hand here, is taking a lot of malediction damage. He'll turn back around, tries to get some more spells off before he falls, but is going to get murdered by HFN. He's got the Metamorphosis up. Just harass Frank a little bit here. MJZ
Yeah, drums.
taking some attacks. Lift back
Drums
from Moon.
into the TP boots.
I was gonna see, can Moon
MJZ,
get
huh?
this? He's got the Fade Bolt, but it's level 2. I don't think he can get enough damage down here. Oh, with Gezu though
Not
dropping
again.
that, perhaps? With the Poison Sting, they need like one more hit, but it's like he's gonna be okay.
Very close.
Very close. MNZ also sitting a bit low too. TP coming up top though. Frank.
There's that rotation for HFN.
Want him, but are they going to get him is the
6.
question. A couple of the body blocks here. Throwing out that cast. The jump forward though again. Jeffen trying to just juke himself around here. Doesn't have it though. Good rotation coming out from Tomato. Exactly what he needs to do when he's facing Bryle here. Who does have the lasso available now though.
But since he doesn't cross distances that easily,
Oh,
he's
Kezu?
going to have to be content with, well,
Dizzy
defensive.
falls and so does Kezu though. He's still have that nice aura headdress here from MNZ, but Bryle making his own rotation, has the lasso, he's very fast. Should be able to go drag back here on MNZ with the Firefly. He's trying to strength morph though, back here again. We'll throw it out and get the stun, but he is just gonna get evaporated.
Yeah, that's the other option, of course, an overextension from the enemy. And you can see that an overextension really isn't very far at all. It's crossing this line right here.
Mm-hmm. And it is going to be the boots of travel, though, like you said. This time we're not going to be seeing the drums coming out for Bryle. Not right away, anyways.
I think he feels that he has enough heals and damage reduction around him if he decides to fight. Otherwise, I think he'd definitely still choose to tank up.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Some movement's being placed over here in the middle lane. They see that Bryle's gone a bit deep here. They'll follow up. Get a couple of these nice cask bounces as they try to separate. Still manage to get bounced. Looks like they're
That's
trying to
a
make
TP
some
force.
moves, knowing that he didn't have the lasso there.
Yeah, and Aoi actually needs to make his way top now, because otherwise the second rotation is going to come in from Tomato. He's just going to go top again. They're just going to go kill the Terrorblade again. And he hasn't held a point for his Sunder either, so... Aoi's got to watch for that. And maybe he also wants to stack? Yeah, he wants to stack. Matthew's going to let him for now. He prefers guarding the rune.
And a rune to go. They drop down that remnant. Double damage gets picked up by Bryle, though. It's not quite fast enough there.
On the fingers.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
MNZ is very happy with all of this pressure that his team putting on a mid. Even if they're not really doing anything, they're showing heroes, they're making contact.
This is a dead
There
Moon
we
Meander,
go.
I think. No, he manages to stay just a little bit longer. Follow up the magic missile, trying to drag him right back in again. But KZ with the immediate TP forward. Moon Meander looks like he's going to be able to survive this because they're trying to run away. Matthew now, he just can't do anything. Doesn't have that toss just up, but they'll follow up with the Wrath of Nature. And they'll be able to go collect themselves a kill. But again, pressure being placed over in the mid lane gives some freedom to MNZ here.
He's mirroring HFN very nicely right now. Both of them on the opposing tower. Though Frank's getting rid of a ward. Nicely seen there. And here he is again. Smoke up. Tomato has arrived to the bot lane. Matthew's with him. It's gonna break on that camp. Oh, it isn't. Lindsay backed off just in time. Gonna get him still?
He's still gonna reveal himself. He drops the ward. Doesn't get the toss though. I think you have to back off now. Moon Meander rotating back up.
I think if you play on a team with each other for longer, that's a moment where, for example, Tomato wouldn't have turned around yet. In this case, he'd already given up.
Definitely possible.
Radiant's middle tower.
Bryle getting closer and closer for those boots of travel, but has been having a nice time in this middle lane. And they spot out MNC. They have a lasso if they want to try to go for it. MJZ though, 10-minute runes. Bryle, look, he's just zeroing in here. Might need a little bit more help though. Rune's gonna pop up. MNZ grabs it. Tomato also making his rotation over here to this triangle.
Nice.
Casey's not looking very healthy right now. He's got to try to run away, and he's not going to be able to because they have the astral stuff. They'll clean up on Aoi as well. Bryle stepping in will be able to probably get the kill over onto MJZ. He wants Tomato, though. Will go get the drag back. MNC, though, his own Bat Rider is going to try to push him. Doesn't manage to go, knock him over to the side, but he still has the Firefly. MNC chasing him down. And they've got a couple stacks of sticky. It's just Bat Rider versus Bat Rider, it seems, but he's also taking tower damage, so he needs to be careful. Though Tomato's here, throws out that Aether Remnant, draws Bryle right back in again, and they'll be able to collect themselves a kill.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
And they're also putting in some pressure on the mid tower with Frank at the same time. Catapult is alive. If Matthew, yeah, he's going to be there in time most likely. This is very nice.
Good timing
Bryle.
for sure. Although Tomato's trying to put some pressure on HFN. HFN going pretty greedy here. Hasn't opted, like we said, for that other point in Sunder. Although now he picks it up. He was holding on to it. He's feeling a little bit of pressure now.
It's getting too scary. A Void Spirit plus some bounces from the Nature's Prophet can just kill him. 100-0. They don't even care.
I like Moon's little army of treants that he's picked up.
Denied.
That feels pretty good.
Yeah. Feels less good that he's had to deny his middle tower, though.
True.
Dire's structures
Could be worse though. Could have just lost it instead of being able to deny it.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, jelly time. You ever feel
What about
sad
the
that you
peanut
never
butter?
get the royal jelly because you're support?
Not anymore actually. I've been playing carry recently.
Oh, nice. Look at this army of just treants and everyone here on Crazy. They want this tower. They want to make sure that Minos can't farm as easily down here and just force him into the triangle where they can keep tabs on him.
Dire's top tower.
There's so many summons.
Let's find out if they do the classic move into mid now, though. At the very least, Aoi... Oh, he doesn't even have wards on him right now. He's making the classic sweeping move to place vision, but he doesn't have the vision.
He's just doing some scouting, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure why he's... Maybe he thinks... Again, just block the camp. Alright. Not bad. What's going on here, Matthew? You're a little far away from your home. Coconut handing over here with the malediction. They should be able to find themselves a kill on this tiny. Yeah, they even go and make sure with the death ward. Top goes Matthew.
Dire's top tower.
And Bryle makes his way back top.
A lot of time wasted, though.
And he really wants Frank. Look at him, he's fast, he's speedy. He's only got one stack that's sticky. Minos is here though, needs to be careful. So is MJZ. Bryle maybe going just a little bit too far. They have the vision, the zoom forward here coming out from MNC, the swap, and the very dead Batrider. So that aggression, you know, it's funny, you're saying maybe it won't be that aggressive. It's Bryle. Bryle likes to be aggressive, and that's what makes him a really good mid player, but he definitely needs to know what's going on around him.
This time, at least, he waited until he had the BOTs finished. So, even if he just died going out here, he's going to be back out again immediately. Interesting to see that CR4ZY is top. They really don't want to give more space to MNZ and the possible teleports in from Frank. And they want that more than they want any continuous pressure on the bot lane, where Timado is setting up camp. Bryle's joining him, but at this point that's dangerous for Bryle too.
A lot of them aren't showing, right? Because you know that Frank can show up at any moment. Minos is kind of just hanging out in the jungle, so is MJZ. The only one that's really showing in the lane right now is Matthew, so have to be
Catching up on his
careful,
levels.
especially after the last time he went running at one of the cores.
Yes. Securing the rune again. He's getting close to that blink dagger as well.
Get the resonant pulse stolen by Moon Meander. And they're going into the jungle. They know that HFN's going to be setting up camp
There's
here.
a go on CR4ZY top.
And they're jumping on CR4ZY, but they don't have the stun in time, so he's out.
Oops. I agree. Oops. CR4ZY going for the Spirit Vessel, so directly countering the Morphling as opposed to bringing health to his entire team with the Greaves, for example. But it's also just going to tank him up and allow him to stand in the middle of these team fights. And, you know, Bryle definitely can't do the same. He's very fragile with his BOT first build.
Yeah, it is pretty difficult, you know, because they don't have the greatest of initiations other than the Batrider at this time, so CR4ZY does have to throw his body in there, make sure he gets the ultimate off, although it looks like they'll get a nice pick off here as they get a skill over here back onto MJZ. They had the Wave of Terror, and they'll take down the Vengeful Spirit. But over on the side, too, it looks like Bryle, he wants to try to grab MNC. We'll get the bounce back, has the last... Oh, but he pushes him right back again. And look at this, he's just strength morphed as far as possible. He knows he's in for trouble. The drag back, though, again with the Poison Nova will land over onto Matthew as well. A couple of these nice bounces, and the Death Ward. Aoi's on a killing spree, and they managed to go and take down the Courier, too. But first, at least they managed to get that Lincoln Sphere delivered. So, could have been worse,
Middle tower is under
but
attack.
definitely
Could have definitely been worse.
not
If he
happy
loses
about
the Lincolns there.
it. You could have, yeah.
I mean, I guess he was very busy trying not to die,
Yes.
but that was almost a very costly miss micro. And Void Spirit not interested in joining, surprisingly enough, even though Timado has the full Yules ready. He's also got a point boost on top of this.
Yeah, he's going for the axe
Bot lane.
build.
Yep.
Pretty classic stuff.
So he's going to be doing a lot of the teamfight utility with the Yules into a guaranteed, well, let's call it stun from the Remnant pull. And then, of course, the AoE silences from the Aghanim Scepter.
Silences is very good against this team because you just want to make sure that HFN can't get off that Sunder.
They definitely have the ways to burst him.
MNZ though, is playing a little bit too far forward here as the rest of the team following up. Waveform's away. It's going to be MJZ left behind though. And there's going to be the Lincolns getting popped. MNZ he tries to turn himself into the Mad Rider, but it's not going to be enough. He's going to fall. HFN joins in on this fight. And that's going to be a mid-tower going to the side of Crazy.
That's a bad place to pick the fight, yeah, because HFN will very happily use his Metamorphosis on the tower. And KheZu's item build here, just straight into the
HFN
Spirit
though?
Vessel.
The Avatos?
Oh!
Oh. Yeah, the
He
tips
did
come
not
out.
see that one coming.
What you doing, baby? What you doing there, HFN?
Well, feeling good about himself.
Clearly.
I felt pretty good about him, but yeah. Not for long.
Blink Dagger 2 over on Matthew. Tomato's got one more piece left here for this Ag Scepter. Might be able to find Owie here as well. 17 minutes though, we're at 17 and a half rather, so I'm sure we're going to be seeing more and more.
Come for Moon.
Oh boy, Moon Meander. Was there, no longer. You can see these mass TPs coming out here. KheZu looking for the opening, but they'll go. They'll smoke up over into Matthew. Just wants that little bit of speed burst. Just waiting long enough so that way his Blink Dagger's off cooldown. And it's off.
He's even saving
He
it.
doesn't even need it. He's just walking away. They can't grab him in time.
Mission complete. Hitman got out. And that is so much space for this Roshan. Frank's currently tanking it with his pipe.
Good old Frank the Tank. Alright, and that's the first Roche.
You have to tell me if that's actually something you said before or if you've made it up on the spot.
I've said that before. And when he plays Centaur
okay.
especially, he is Frank the Tank.
Gotcha.
Vampire Fangs found out here by HFN. He'll be happy to have those. More survivability. Has chosen to pick up that Vambrace though instead.
I just really want to express my my gratefulness to the Franks of this world here, because he is going to pipe into Lotus Orb because he knows that he's got 2 fragile damage dealing cores already, and in spite of the fact that he would be really good at damage dealing too, he does not feel the need to do so, because there is no need anymore. They have all the damage they could want in the world. What they want is some extra protection, and Frank is going to provide that.
It's good, but it looks like there's not going to be any extra protection here for Mr. Tomato. Maybe just a little bit too greedy. He saw all of those people there. But on the flip side of things, you've got pressure being placed on the top tier too, so they can definitely push this very quickly.
The fact that he's there isn't necessarily bad. Like, providing a point of contact there, it keeps Crazy busy, gives vision to Thunder Predator, gives them the opportunity to engage bot if they wish so, but then you do have to be very fast on the reflexes of getting out, and Tomato was not.
You know, what's funny is that he had a haste turn too. Like, because they jumped on him originally and he just haste turned away, but then he just stayed in the general vicinity, which felt a little bit like a head scratcher, but I mean, it worked out. They ended up getting that tier 2 top. It's more breathing room here for MNZ, and he's getting closer and closer to that E-Blade. Still has the Aegis, although I feel like MNZ should be the one that's being a little bit... Oh, that's a nice pickup from the supports. Gimme that Philosopher's Stone.
Yes, well, with the placement on the map, you could see why you'd think that MNZ would catch the heat, because he's top, but...
Oh, the blink, though! Alright, I see you. Nicely played by Bryle.
He's still very fragile, and he's gonna go 4-staff next. This man is refusing to tank up. Says, my team's got that for me. Pipe coming on KheZu, so that's gonna help a lot. And of course, there's always the...
Oh, the Lincoln's breaks immediately. They'll drag him right back in again. Plus KheZu having the ultimate. The Avatos, though, will be able to clean up Moon Meander very, very quickly. Owie, though, on the back line, trying to fight here with the Tomato. Not gonna be able to. MNZ2 also struggling here as Owie goes down. MJZ's also fallen. They still have the Aegis, and I'm a little surprised that they tried to go in on that.
I'm not sure what made them want to take that engagement either. They did get very close to bursting MNZ though.
Perhaps they didn't realize how close. Oh, they're still going in here. They see HFN. They'll drag him right back in again. They need to have the stuns, though. Get the bounces off here. He does have the thunder. He's going to turn right back around here over onto Frank, because Bryle's here, and he's going to be able to drop all of that Firefly, plus the Spirit Vessel damage. And now they're turning this right around. Did they go Purdue far, perhaps, if they go and they take down Matthew? MNZ, again, still has that Aegis. It's going to go. They'll pop the Lincolns. They've got the... There's going to be the swap back, though, trying to buy him a little bit more time. But MJZ also to fall, so all of a sudden... all you have here is MNZ by himself, and he's got to get out of there in a hurry. They've got the stuns, they've got plenty of things to pop the Lincolns, and MNZ's just dead.
Two pretty bewildering fights one after another. That go from crazy is miscalculated, but Thunder Predator definitely overplayed their hand there. I understand that they feel powerful with the Ags up on Tomato, but if you don't focus fire, the silence doesn't mean a lot. It's just a mild inconvenience to crazy.
I think you just back off after you took a good fight. There's no reason to keep going, but HFN, he's a delicious looking target, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh man, if we could get this kill, this would be huge. Come on guys, let's do it. And they debated themselves a little bit.
They did, yeah, and the biggest deal about that is that HFN has just bought himself a Scotty. This man is not that interested in dealing damage yet. He just wants to have HP, and boy does he have a lot of it now.
Again, they just keep popping the Lincolns. They've got the lasso, they've got so much damage, but they're able to just slice through MNZ. Bryle's still sitting very, very low, but they just can't seem to finish him off as they're still hunting for him. There's gonna be Tomato, the pushback, though, again, and the Scotty. Oh, plus that Spirit Vessel, plus Owie just doing damage. That Essence Ring is real cute, my dear. But that's a double kill now for Owie 2000. That's gonna be a tower to boot.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Both of the most important cores down, and they need to focus fire. Somebody needs to die if they go in that hard. But I don't actually think they have the damage anymore, not until the full E-Blade is completed, and even then, I think they wasted a part of their window. Just look at the timing. It is 23 minutes into the game. To have E-Blade Lincolns at this time, or maybe like even a minute earlier, would have been such... Oh no.
Bye-bye, Frank.
Oh no, Frank.
Guten bye-bye.
Guten Tag.
This is just so characteristic of Bra. I've been loving the way that he's been playing recently. It's been him and it's been Quinn. The way that they immediately find these openings, they go from kill to kill, just constantly bloodthirsty, constantly making these plays. They're like the two mid players that I've seen that have been super, super active no matter what. And I love it. I love to see it.
The impression that I got during the Great American Rivalry is because their paces and their rotations matched so much that I wonder if they've been practicing against each other.
It could be
and they've been needing to keep it up, keep up the pace because the other's so fast.
And take a look at this.
Another
it's
lasso!
Another lasso! And they found MNZ, they popped his Lincolns, it doesn't even matter. HFN's on a killing spree. I want to know the participation of kills per minute now for Bryle, because this man has just been going non-stop.
As soon as he got this Force Staff, he exploded into a ball of, well, death? Fiery death? I don't know.
Little baby Bryle growing up and murdering everybody.
You'll love to see it.
Not if you're the enemy team. And look at this, HFN's feeling so confident, he's just walking right over to this tower. He knows that they don't have anyone else here at home because they have the vision, so he's going to be putting pressure.
He's covering for this.
And they go and they grab up Frank here. They've got the Spirit Vessel charged. Bryle gets dragged back. The toss-up, though, coming out, might be able to go and burst down Bryle. They will be able to find it with that Wrath of Nature and Tomato, but they're just doing all of this, and it's just not going to work out for them because they end up losing Frank. MJZ looks like he's going to be the next call to swap out, trying to find a little bit more time over here. KZU has that Essence Ring. Toss-up, though, into the air, and the teams are just, they're melting coming out of here. KZU's got himself a double kill. Moonmeander somehow still alive as they take down Matthew. KZU, they still haven't managed to kill this man. They'll find Moon. Tomato trying to run away, but hello? Your buildings are getting destroyed. Minos is getting destroyed. It was the bait and switch, Kips.
It was. Hey. Top lane, getting your buildings, you swear. Psych. It was very close though. The problem is that Timato can't go in against his Terrorblade because he'll get slowed up and he can't burst him at all. But he can totally go in against this trio that they had on the bot lane. And it is, well, an essence ring-fueled wonder that KheZy gets
I
to live
can't
there at
believe
all.
KZ stayed alive. I actually cannot believe that. He got so close. I was like, one Avatos. One Avatos is enough to kill him. But they just weren't able to find it. Now look at this. Tomato shows in the lane. He's gonna try to hide, but Bryle, he's already hot on his heels. He's looking for him. He's got a lasso with his name on it. Don't just hang out. There's gonna be Astro Step forward. Bryle not able to quite grab him just yet, but they pop
He's
the
so
drums.
slow.
They've already used the Force Staff. He's gonna try to go drop down that Aether Remnant, but Bryle's here. And the rest of the team is here too. They don't even need this lasso, Kips. They're just gonna burn him to death. Or in the case of KheZy, give him the toxins.
That stolen Aether Remnant was a nice touch from Moon. At the very least, though, all of this death finally gave MNZ the space to finish his Ethereal Blade.
It's too late.
It's very late.
It's too late at this
Oh,
point.
it's
Look
gone
at
again.
this. All right, again. Just
Oh,
dragging
finally.
back, but the man's go get the swap off. They'll use the Ethereal Blade. The follow up again. They've got the Avalanche. The buyback coming out now from Tomato. They see HFN. They do manage to finally take him down. Wasn't able to go and get the Sunder off. Owie getting dragged back in. They're going to try to go for anything more. Moon dropping his own remnants over onto the side. Owie, again, this is your position 5. It's okay, but you've already lost HFN. He's trying to play Ring Around the Rosie with the trees. Isn't going to be able to survive, but on the back end here, Moon Meander, he's just been left behind a little bit too long. Does have the Glimmer Cape. The duration's about to end. They've got the Silence. Astro Step coming forward, and they'll go pop the Lincolns. It's still a dead Moon with a double kill now for MNZ.
And this is how the fight was supposed to go all along. It's just that they needed that E-Blade to be able to burst the Terra Blade again, otherwise the silence from Tomato was useless. Now the puzzle pieces are in place, but they just needed to give MNZ the time to get that E-Blade, and they didn't. Oh,
Oh my god. Bryo with an
well,
Arcane.
they got there in the end.
We're going to just see a lot of lassos coming out, but they have to be careful, right? Because if MNZ gets caught out, if they're spread out like this, they can just continuously mess with him. They need to have them all together.
And this is one of the problems for the build that Frank has gone, is that he can't split push with this.
No.
He's
Is
gonna
it?
pipe Lotus Orb, he does not kill creep waves.
He's trying to
Yeah,
sidestep
this is,
here. They know that they're hanging out over by the Roche pit, though. They ping it out. Okay, so going to continuously drop down some of these wards just to keep tabs on things, just to make things difficult. But Roche is up, and this is probably going to be our next big fight.
It is, yes. Terrablade's finishing his butterfly as we speak. He would really like this Roche to just wait a little bit until he's got the evasion up and running.
Just wants to have the buyback, I'm sure. Look at all the things being thrown into the pit. You've got the Aether Remnant, you got a little Kakamora being thrown in there, more of these lovely Plague Wards. Ooh, a telescope pickup, that's going to be very nice.
Smoke.
Side of crazy. Well, they know exactly what they are. They just need to make the right call to wrap around. They might be able to fight Minos. They'll let Aoi lead. They could tell. Smoke coming forward.
Power 170.
Oh, it's a good ward. They spot out. They need to get the jump, though, again. They can grab Minos. The Blink 4 coming out from Bat Rider. The Eul. There it is. They drag him back, but it comes
Nice.
Sato. They'll hold him into place, but they're still doing way too much damage. MNZ, he can't stand toe-to-toe with this. He's going to go down. MJZ falls down. Matthew on the back end. Oh, my word. Crazy. They say to hell with an Aegis. Let's go get ourselves some buildings, boys.
Really well done there. That Yule, so that the swap could not break the tether, was just, yes.
Whose Yules was that?
I think it was
it Bat?
Brawl
It was
himself
Bat's.
as well. Yep. So he basically presses 3 buttons at the same time.
Bra's
You know,
good at
you-
pushing buttons.
You break the Lincolns. Oh, sorry, you break on top of him, you break the Lincolns, you Yule's Avenge. And then, oh yeah, of course, you also got a last of them still. What am I saying? 4.
A lot of buttons being pushed, for sure. He's gonna have the lasso up again soon because he used the arcane rune too, so... They take Megas.
Actually, somebody else needs to break the Lincolns. He doesn't have enough actives.
And it looks like they can just go right into the Roche pit. That's gonna give them cheese this time around. Interesting that they also pick up the force stuff on HFN to go with a full pike. This
really
should
wants to be
secure
able to
them
get
the
a sequence.
advantage here. I don't think they can do anything about this over on the side of Thunder Predator. Look at this, just melts. No way they get there in time. Absolutely not. Rubik grabs up the cheese, and they're ready to go. This could be the last hurrah here for Thunder Predator. They did not have buyback on Minos
They
last
smoked
time.
for it.
Now or never, my friends. I see the Invis rune. A little bait with Minos. But you can see that Bryle's not there right now. Bryle actually in the bottom lane, so might be able to try to make something happen. Are they deciding to try to go after Bryle? They have creeps in their base, though. They need to be careful. Moon Meander
Maddox still
showing,
wants to
jumping
go.
forward, meeting the Avatos. Still alive, has the Glimmer Cape. They don't have enough damage to go and burst them down. They go and they grab Tomato. They drag him so far back. Buyback's coming out now from the Rubik. He wants to be part of this. Nice swap, though, coming out from MJZ. The go, they'll drop the Maledict. They've got the ultimate coming through, too, but Tomato's still alive. MJZ, though, will fall as now Rubik. Oh, they get the swap back again because Moon, he stole it. They're going right back in. They are not going to be able to save Tomato here. He's out of those astral steps, and they'll just chase him down, burn him to death with the Firefly, but he's got his dancing shoes on. He's trying so hard. Does have one more astral step, but they're still following him over here into the corner. They need one more hit to do the trick, and they'll find it. And they'll kill his courier. That was his Aeon Disc recipe. Oh,
And your
no,
little
Thunder
donkey,
Predator.
too.
Look at HFN. He's just running. He's making a beeline. He's like, there's no Tomato. There's no MJZ. I've got Metamorphosis up. Come on, team. Let's go win us a
This is
game.
game. And yeah, I guess they're going to
Last
try
round.
to blow him up one more time, but that's so much harder.
You
now that he
can't.
has
He's
the
got an
Titan already.
Aegis. You have to blow him up 2 times. You don't have the means
They
for
don't have
Thunder
the damage.
Predator right now. Look at this. These buildings, they just can't do anything. They're just watching it. If anything gets 4-step,
Swap him.
the Carol gets thrown right into the base, goes immediately past the onto FJZ, is just shredded. The toss back into the fountain, though. They're trying everything they can. He has the Thunder up. Just gonna go murder Frank, murder Matthew, triple kill, then just keep on going. MNZ, he's gonna come back right back here again. HFN looking for the murder, looking to get out of here, though, too. It doesn't matter. Thunder Predator has been eliminated from the BTS Pro Series, and Crazy is gonna be going up against Infamous tomorrow.
A very well-deserved victory. They definitely had a couple of moments where it looked like Crazy was balancing this tightrope between making these plays and maybe allowing Thunder Predator too much of an opportunity on these overextensions, but no, in the end, Thunder Predator just doesn't quite take enough time to get that E-Blade online. I think if they have that like 3 minutes earlier, which was totally doable, and by the way, would have been absolutely amazing farm speed on MNZ. They could have turned this entire game around, but it was not to be.
'Twas not to be indeed. I will say I did like the way that Thunder Predator was trying to play more of their own style of Dota this time around. You know, having MNZ on the Morphling, Frank on the Nature's Prophet. Like, it wasn't a bad draft by any means, but I will just say, Crazy. They played so well together. Like, you saw these movements again. I keep comparing Bryle and Quinn here, but the way that they've been playing their mid, it's just so active. It's so ferocious. You don't get a chance to breathe, especially when we saw the 4 staff getting picked up by Bryle. The fact he's pushing those buttons so damn well, and then just the rest of the team, they don't have those hesitations. We saw that hesitation in the top lane, right? We saw Matthew chasing after HFN, and Tomato he turned around. Whereas, if they've been playing together a little bit longer, perhaps he doesn't have that happen. Perhaps they go and they commit, and they also slow him down a little bit more. But, I have to say, Crazy has been really impressing me this tournament. They didn't look I don't want to say they didn't look hot in like the previous things that we've seen with like Omega and ESL, but they didn't look as strong as they did right now. And I feel like I don't want to say Quincy Jr. because I don't know, that feels a little pandering, but they're definitely finding their stride, and these drafts have been looking good, and their play has been coming together.
Their play definitely has been coming together. I remember a lot more inconsistency from especially Kezu, as well as Bryle sometimes back in the Great American Rivalry. And both of them looked really solid right now, really enjoyed just Kezu's map position and itemization, and Bryle looks like a murderer, which is A+, because that's his job.
That is his job. Yes, he is hired to make the murders happen. Also, shout out to, we hear a lot of the static back and forth, especially NASA, how everyone's playing on ping. But you have to keep in mind, HFN playing on ping. Keizu playing from Europe, playing on ping. So in this case, it just feels like Thunder Predator I don't know if part of that was because, Tomato's a stand-in, or maybe they're just a little bit off right now. Maybe they're not quite finding the right stride that they need to with their timings and whatnot. But crazy, they just look so solid. I'm really going to be excited to watch these last two games tomorrow with the lower bracket against Infamous now carrying the hopes and dreams of South America at this point, which I think a lot of people are surprised about, but also very thrilled in some senses, right, to see another SA team, making this leap forward. But the big question on everybody's mind is, can they take down Quincy Crew? Because Quincy Crew, they just look so tight. They're so surgically together all the time. They make fantastic decisions. Crazy's getting there, but I don't know if they're quite there yet. What do you think?
Well, we'll have to see and find out, I guess. They definitely stand a chance. We've seen, I think Quincy Crew gets overconfident sometimes. I mean, with good reasons, but what can happen then is, of course, a whiplash effect where you try to make up too hard for the fact that you just overplayed, etc. So there are definitely scenarios in which either of the other teams win the entire tournament, but it's going to be a long shot, honestly. I still think that they're in a different league if you look at the quality.
I would agree with you on that, but I think it's only a matter of time before, like, remember we had Beast Coast at the top of every South
Mm-hmm.
American tournament for a while. But over time, you start to realize these trends, things that they do, things that, you can tell that people have been studying them. That's the problem with being at the top, being the kings,
Yes.
is that you're giving them so many more opportunities to learn about how you play. Do I think that these teams are necessarily at that level just yet? Not yet. Not yet. I think they need to do more studying, but I think they're definitely going to be able to give them a run for their money. And who knows, maybe they'll be able to pull off some games. But again, still, Crazy's going to have to face off against Infamous, who has been a wild card, a bit of a dark horse
Mm-hmm.
raising up through this. And then after that, they've got to figure out how do they take down the kings of this side of the world. But I'll be looking forward for that for tomorrow. Thank you so much for casting with me today,
Mm-hmm.
Kips. It's always a pleasure to get to hear your analysis. And thank you so much to Pythian, who's been running the stream for us, keeping it nice
Mm-hmm.
and smooth. And a special shout out to our sponsor, of course, Monster Energy, keeping us fueled. I'm turning this the wrong way, but make sure that you grab yourself one. I like the mango ones personally. Those are my favorites. But there's lots of
I got
great
one
flavors.
right there.
Oh, nice.
I
Excellent.
should
I
be
can see
pointing.
nice product sponsor placement there. But that's going to be it from us tonight, guys. So thank you so much for watching, for supporting NA and SA Dota, and we'll see you here tomorrow.